Hello and welcome back to Yorion's Journal. Today we're gonna be playing Atraxa Creativity, one of my favorite decks in Explorer. The main idea of this deck is to use Indomitable Creativity on one of our either creature tokens or our treasure tokens to destroy the token and then cheat out Atraxa Grand Unifier on turn like 4 or 5. So get it out early, refill our entire hand with control pieces, and eventually win the game from a position where we either gain enough card advantage through Atraxa and other cards like Teferi, Omen of the Sea, and Yorion to grind out our opponent and eventually win the game through damage from creature tokens and from Atraxa herself. The rest of the deck is made up of control pieces. It's a Yorion deck, so I don't want to go through card by card because that would take very long time. So just really quickly, we have some removal spells in Dovin's Veto, Get Lost, March of Otherworldly Light, and Lightning Helix. We have counter spells like No More Lies, and then we have endgame control pieces like the Wandering Emperor and Teferi, Hero of Dominaria when our main game plan doesn't go perfectly. The idea of the deck is we are essentially a blue-white / Jeskai control deck with an over-the-top win con in Atraxa Grand Unifier. That's the main idea of the deck. It is an Explorer deck, so let's hop into the sideboard really quick. We have Yorion, obviously, as our companion, so that takes up a sideboard slot. We have High Noon for combo decks plus Phoenix, Rest in Peace for Phoenix and other graveyard decks. 1 Dovin's Veto, 2 Krenko's Buzz Crushers. I put these in here to mirror that of something you would want to play in Pioneer because this card destroys Lotus Field in the Pioneer matchup against Lotus Field. That matchup, obviously, we won't play much of on Explorer because Lotus Field combo doesn't have all the cards on Explorer yet. We have Lithomantic Barrage, which is a good spell to destroy some blue creatures like in the Phoenix deck, 2 temporary lockdowns in the side, 2 mystical disputes, 2 shark typhoons, and a Chandra for the control mirrors. And yeah, that's basically the deck. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it card by card because it's such a long list. So let's just hop right into the games and see how the deck plays. Okay, hopping in against D-Link 7. Let's see. Let's try not to draw Atraxa. That would be a benefit. That would be kind of nice. Would like to creatively find my Atraxas rather than drawing them. Okay. This hand's close. We have Helix and Veto for interaction. We have the best card in our hand that fixes our hand. And we have 3 of them. So one of them's resolving. But we need to draw our 3rd land. I think on the draw or on the play, you can mulligan this. I think on the draw, we're like kind of guaranteed to hit our next land. So let's just keep. Our opponent goes down to 5. So goes down to 4. So sometimes when I play this deck, it's me who's having trouble drawing playable 7s and 6s because of the way Atraxa works. If I like. Right now, our opponents are struggling to hit their lands, so let's see how it goes. Okay. Well, this is an interesting streak. I haven't seen this happen very much. They could be Gruul Prowess. If they're Gruul Prowess, we want lockdowns. We don't need Lithomantic Barrage. We don't want our Dovin's Veto in the Prowess matchup. We don't have a ton of sideboard options for the Gruul Prowess deck. I think Shark Typhoon's an okay one. Kind of just a cycle effect. That can make a blocker at some point. We kind of need all our removal spells. In the aggro matchups, our deck is fairly good at staying alive. Is like decent at staying alive with March of Otherworldly Light and Lightning Helix, and then also sometimes these aggro decks like don't interact with you. They're just trying to kill you. And B, they don't try and interact with you, So they're not killing your tokens and stuff a whole lot other than like through combat. But our tokens are like clues and treasures and things like that. And then they don't interact with Atraxa very well once Atraxa hits the board. So if you get to Atraxa on turn 4 and still have a healthy life total, it becomes really hard for them to like kill you. We have No More Lies and Lockdown. Yeah, I think this hand's fine. I do like the Fountain Port also being there. All right, they play a tap land, or they play a Gruul land and say go. So another Gruul land. They do seem to be... they're like a combo deck of some kind, right? Let's see. Agatha of the Vile Cauldron. Activate abilities of creatures you control. Cost X less to activate, where X is Cauldron's power. And then 6 mana. Other creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain trample. So they're like some kind of combo deck. Yeah, we're just going to play our Fortress. Let's try and take as little shock damage as possible to our lands this game. And let's just like counter some cards that might look like combo pieces, right? We're going to take 1. To our opponent, we probably look like some form of blue-white control or something like that. Let's play the Falls now. We have our double white for our lockdown, so I think if we can just easily cycle this Jetmir's Garden, no problem, obviously. And I think that's what we're going to do this turn, because we have land drops for our next 2 turns. Mox Amber, okay. Lockdown looking really good on this board. A Bard class. Okay, once again, Lockdown looks great on this board, so I think we're just going to keep allowing these spells to resolve. What happens if they pay 2 legendary spells you cast cost red-green less to cast? Okay. Bard class seems fine to me. They tap out. Except for... Is this on yet? Add 1 mana of any color among legendary creatures. Okay, so because they have Agatha, they can use it for mana for sure. Alright. On their end step, let's cycle the Garden. We draw a March. That's great in this matchup. And then obviously we're going to temporary lockdown. Just... shut off whatever's going on over here, and then let's play our Vents tapped. Perfect time to get our shock land in without dealing damage to ourselves. And now we have 2 good interaction spells for what they've played so far. They've played a lot of cheap spells this game. We have 2 good interaction spells, and they play Chandra. Okay. Obviously, our deck doesn't quite interact well with Chandra here. We do have the Fountain Port, which is not bad. They have Pick Your Poison too. Okay. Well, now I think we're way behind. Level that up, sure. And we draw a Typhoon. Alright, Shark Typhoon plus Lava, Lightning Helix over the course of a couple turns will kill the Chandra. And then what happens? They have pay 5 mana. Whenever you cast a exile the top 2 cards. Okay, so the last version of this effect just draws them cards. So yeah, let's get our Fountain Port down. And then we have a March to... We could even eat the Bard class when they level it up, for example. So yeah, let's just pass the turn. We can make a 3/3 Shark this turn. Hit the Chandra. Lightning Helix the Chandra. And they are going to level up the Bard class. Okay. Bard class is leveled up. If they cast a legendary spell... That was a land. Yep, I'm going to take 2. They're going to play another tap land. Pass the turn. They have a card they can play? Not sure what's going on there. Anyway, we're going to cycle this for 3. Let's make a 3/3. Is this Lightning Bolt? Okay, it actually is Lightning Bolt. Alright, it's basically Bolt. Okay, fair enough. And we draw Atraxa again. Really good at drawing Atraxa. Not so good at drawing Creativity, huh? Chandra will do it. She will be able to ultimate the following turn. Not this turn. We do have the Helix for it, though, to kind of knock it out of range. We do kind of need to march this Bard class now. Let's march the Bard class. And then and then what is this? 3 mana. So we're gonna pay 3. So we're not gonna be able to make a fish this turn, which isn't ideal, obviously. But I think we have to get rid of Bard class because if they just untap, draw, cast a legendary spell, it's on cast. This triggers, yeah. All right, let's hit the Bard class. The Pick Your Poison went crazy this game, huh? Do we buy our Yorion to possibly cast it next turn? No, I'm just gonna say go. We have Dovin's Veto. We have No More Lies. Chandra's gonna exile. They exile a Ruby, which they will cast. Ruby can resolve. Ruby, a haste creature that attacks with a creature that's power 4 or greater. It gets +2/+2. Pass. They're gonna attack for 2. Sure. They're gonna pump. So they're just gonna give them +1/+1. So we'll take 4, go to 12. I think 4 go to 12 is fine. Oh, it just pumps the other creature. Wait, what? Other creatures. Okay. Go to their end step, and then yeah, end step. I'm just gonna. Do I hold my Lightning Helix in case I draw a Get Lost next turn? If I draw a Get Lost next turn, I can Lightning Helix one of these guys and then Get Lost the Chandra. Yeah, let's hold it for a Get Lost. Okay, we draw Fable. Fable's not a terrible draw. We are definitely going to Fable. And then we are absolutely just going to have to Lightning Helix the Chandra, keep her out of the ultimate range. Try and buy time to draw our creativity. They drew Scorching Shot off the top, sure. Their deck's kind of cool. They're like Gruul Legends, I guess. And then Pick Your Poison again. Okay. Okay, yeah. Our hand just did not line up this game with what they were doing. We do draw the creativity. It's a turn late. So we can Fountain Port, make a token, which I think is what we're going to do, and then creativity the following turn. Chandra exile. They exile Burgi this time. Okay. And they are going to cast the backside of Burgi. So if we make a fish, we can still counter this spell. So yeah, let's just use our Dovin's Veto here. They play a land. And they pass. All right, we are going to make the fish. Untap, pay 1, create. Let's make sure we tap the port. Untap. Let's creativity our fish token. This is why Fountain Port's in the deck. It's just a decent way to take the Get Lost for sure. Let's grab another creativity, and let's start trying to grind our way back into this game. Let's take Emperor, and let's grab another white source because we don't have one of those available to us right now. Yeah, let's Get Lost the Chandra, and then we can just play a tapped land. Okay, and we got there. Sometimes you just draw creativity and eventually you like win the game. Hopping in against Toby with a Gigantha, that could mean quite a few things. Either Rakdos, any kind of aggro deck kind of gets to play, I think, Gigantha for free, or is pretty close to being able to play Gigantha for free. Against Rakdos or Giganta or an aggro deck, this hand seems okay. We have a No Moralize and a March and a Prismari command, so I will keep it. This is more of like, this hand isn't trying to do the creativity thing at all. This hand just is trying to be the control deck. The almost like blue-white Jeskai control deck that our deck gets to be. They do play Kumano, so this is probably some version of mono red. And so let's just shock in the Steam Vents past the turn, because we want to get this. We want to be able to get this counterspell out of our hand as quick as possible. Because it just doesn't do. It's not very good in these matchups. It's very hard to like use your counterspells effectively. Let's go. Okay, we have a decision. Well, no, we don't have a great decision. I was gonna say, if we draw an untapped land, we do have a serious decision between Prismari Command plus Treasure. Because Prismari Command, make a treasure, kill Kumano, untap with another untapped land, and we get to play Teferi. But we would have to draw an untapped land. The other option is play Jetmir's Garden, because we can march the Kumano. And then on turn 4, we have 4 mana untapped to like deduce plus make a treasure. I still like Prismari Command. The upside of the Prismari Command play is pretty high. And even on the following turn, they most likely will have a 2-drop for us to interact with. Play land. This is like a, I think this is a Fling variant. You can play Rakdos like Fling with the adventure card from Wilds of Eldraine. All right, we're just gonna let that, if they want to hit us for 2, they can hit us for 2. I don't care. They buy Giganta. Okay. Now I do want a Prismari Command. Do I want Prismari Command or do I want Deduce? Yeah, let's Prismari Command. Just kill, make a treasure. Buying Giganta there is weird. Why does everyone keep scooping instantly? What is going on? We did draw the untapped land, by the way, so what just happened? Oh, I think our opponent just conceded that match. Is that what just happened? Yeah, okay, our opponent just conceded that match entirely. We're playing against Victor Gobra. This hand's good. It doesn't really do anything until turn 3. But we're on the play with a Fable, and I kind of like being on the play with a Fable. So let's go Triumph, pass. Fable of the Mirror Breaker is just such a busted magic card. It's hard to mulligan any hand with it in it. This looks like Phoenix. Phoenix, another one of those decks that really struggles to... Phoenix is another one of those decks that has trouble dealing with Atraxa. It's often like attack, deal damage to her, and then pitch a card and axe her. Like attack, have your creature die. And now they play a land and say go. I think it's very possible this Fable gets countered by the Spell Pierce. And if it gets countered by Spell Pierce, that's like not the end of the world. We still have Emperor and a Get Lost. Like, I'm okay with this getting countered. I'd rather this get countered than Creativity. Okay, they're going to let that resolve. I'm going to try and say go. They might have the 2-mana... They main deck Brazen Borrower. Okay. Interesting. Main deck Brazen Borrower. Maybe that's why they thought. Maybe they still... So it's possible they still have Spell Pierce. What are we discarding from our hand? Well, that made life a little easier. Definitely discarding Creativity. And let's discard a land. We do have double white for this Emperor anyway. Okay, draw 2 lands. That's fine. Rather get rid of those while we can. And then we're going to say go because we have the Emperor. And they're going to tap out and cast the Brazen Borrower. Okay. Sure. Brazen Borrower is fine. Now I'm confused, honestly, if they are Phoenix. We're just going to say go. They're going to cast Shredder. Okay. Ledger Shredder's fine. They want to trigger Ledger Shredder. Sure. I don't want to put my... we could flash in Emperor to make sure Emperor resolves right now. And then... okay, if we flash in Emperor right now, it resolves. Like, they won't be able to play a land and Spell Pierce. And then... if they attack it with Brazen Borrower, we exile... yeah, okay, let's Emperor. And then let their spells resolve. We'll just put a stop on our end step. And then Consider is going to resolve. They discarded a land to their Shredder trigger, just to be clear. They play Stormcarved Coast. And they pass. All right, we're going to make a Samurai. And we are going to flip our Fable. So once again, Spell Pierce is a real concern. Spell Pierce kind of sucks because we can wait a turn to play around it. We have Get Lost. Yeah, let's... It's a tough turn. So... oh, we should have put a stop there, by the way. We can Creativity, but it feels like they've had Spell Pierce for a chunk of this game. How bad is Creativity? Yeah, Creativity getting Spell Pierced is really bad here. Alright, I'm gonna play the tap land. I'm gonna I'm gonna +1 my Emperor. Go to combat. Now we have Get Lost and Omen of the Sea this turn anyway, so like we're fine. We can protect our Emperor this turn. They're gonna Fiery Impulse our token. That's a weird time to do that. Why'd they do it after they took the damage? They did it after they took the damage, and they did it where they could only play one spell for this Ledger Shredder. Okay, here's a Consider. They put Cruise in the bin. They're doing weird stuff. Okay. Proph's Eidetic Memory is a scary one. They're going to trigger their Ledger Shredder. This most likely means my Emperor dies. Because they can put the counters on the Shredder. However, we can still Creativity our Kiki. Oh, they're hovering for Cruise now. I mean, that's the obvious reason you've been a Treasure Cruise, right? Is because you already have one in hand. And the second one gets clunky with the first one. Do we Omen of the Sea? I think we do. Alright, we're going to Omen and try and see if we can find a counterspell. No counterspell. Good thing we Omen, though, because we get to put Atraxa on the bottom of our deck. Oh, and there's another Atraxa, always. There's always another Atraxa. Okay. Oh, if they kill our reflection too, we're in a lot of trouble. Lightning Axe our reflection. Yeah, maybe we were too passive playing around the Pierce. They put an Arc-like Phoenix in their bin too. Yeah, I think we're in quite a bit of trouble this game. We send both there. Oh. Okay. Our Emperor's just dead no matter what, so... Okay. I have a weird idea. They're gonna hit us for 7 with the Shredder. Yeah, we're gonna let all this happen. We're gonna get lost our Omen to make a token for our creativity. Trigger Connive, yeah, because I cast the Omen earlier. Blow up our Omen, make a token. Okay, we can creativity. What the heck? Cancel. We want to make sure it taps our Fountain Port. Creativity, blow up our token. We get an Atraxa in play. We get Dovin's Veto. Farewell. Teferi. We get Omen. And we get Sulfur Falls. Okay. Got a bunch of cards here. Play Sulfur Falls. We definitely want a Dovin's Veto to protect our Atraxa. They have Picklock Prankster. That's a good one for them for sure. We did have an interesting turn there. I think we're still in trouble. They get Spikefield Hazard. And they get to opt to Shredder. They're going to draw a lot of cards, so Prophetic Memory is going to get to do things. How good is Farewell? I mean, it's pretty bad. But, like, they hit us for... I mean, if the Shredder gets to... If he draws 5 cards this turn, which I think he will now. But we can veto this. I am going to Dovin's Veto this. They did know about the veto, though. So, they could have Axe. Let's see. Yeah, they could have Lightning Axe. There's a Sleight of Hand. That's not a draw, though. It'll be interesting. If the Shredder's 13, we have to block. But if the Shredder's not 13, we're not forced to block. And we take the damage, we attack with Atraxa, and we spin the Shredder back. So, no blocks. Go to 5. Yeah, so let's go... Let's think this turn through. So we have 7 mana available to us. We can Teferi spin the Shredder. Attack with Atraxa. We eat the Borrower and the Art-like Phoenix. And then we have 3 mana left. We can also Omen to try and find a removal spell. I kind of like the idea of Omening first. Even if we Omen here, we can still... Let's Omen, because we can still... There's a Helix. A Helix is really big deal. Yeah, I think we want this Helix. We're going to take the Helix. We're going to go combat, attack with Atraxa. If they double block, we Helix the Brazen Borrower. Can't tell what they're thinking. I mean, they have to be thinking double block here, right? Yep. Helix the Borrower. Trigger the Shredder. Kill the Atraxa. Back to 15. We have a bunch of heavy costed cards in our hand. I think I want to buy Yori on here now. Yeah, so let's go Shock Foundry, buy Yorion, say go. And we've played through 2 treasure cruises now, so they have, and we know they binned one earlier, so I think they only have 1 treasure cruise left. We're gonna Fiery Impulse. They could kill, like, double Fiery Impulse. Torch the Tower. That's... Okay, so they're going to waste 3 cards to kill this Atraxa. They've drawn... Oh, they sacked there. Yeah, so Spike Field Atraxa. This is what I mean. Like, this deck really struggles to out Atraxa. And they're hovering for their final treasure cruise. That's crazy. I believe this is their final treasure cruise, right? Because they binned one at one point. So I think I'm dead to... what's it called, right? Arc-like Phoenix? Double Phoenix, yeah. I think I was dead to double Phoenix there anyway, so I wonder... Yeah, so maybe we are supposed to fairy spin... I mean, but they have to have what? They have to have 3 removal spells to kill... We knew about Spike Field. Okay. Yeah, let's make our changes and then we'll talk. Yeah, I'll talk about while playing. Let's take Rest in Peace, High Noons, Mystical Disputes. We don't want Helixes. We don't need Marches. We don't need Teferis. We don't need... What else? Deduce not as needed. Cut a Deduce. Cut another Helix. I don't like cutting Emperor. Cutting Emperor. Emperor is pretty good against them. Let's cut the Talent. Anyway, going back to that last game. We could let Atraxa like double block, die, and then cast to fairy, bounce the Shredder, and then their board's empty. And at that point, their board would be empty with a bunch of removal spells in hand. But it's also a little unfortunate they just found all 3 treasure cruises so fast. But that's what their deck is good at doing. For the final cut, Prismari Command's kind of weak against them, but I already cut a card that makes tokens for us. I don't know if I want all 4 Dovin's vetoes. I'm gonna go down to 3 vetoes and try running it like this. Rest in Peace, obviously a great sideboard card against the Phoenix matchup, so... Top in... This hand's so good, but it's only got 1 land. Like, it's got Rest in Peace, Dovin's Veto, Omens. Yeah, we have to mulligan. We do have another good hand here between Creativity, Fable, and Helix. So this hand's good. It's just a question of what to put back. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to put the Get Lost back. Just gives them a little too much value. Yeah, let's put the Get Lost back. Let's go Triome, pass the turn. There's a Sleight of Hand. We do need to draw a land. We're very good at drawing this, though. That's not how that works. Go ahead. We do need to draw a land. If we don't draw a land here, we're pretty screwed. You do get to Lightning Helix this for free without them getting any connive value, so that's good. Untap land one time. No untap land. That is unfortunate. I think we're at 30... Let's just double check. We're at 36 lands in this deck. We did draw the Falls, and they passed. What does that mean? We're a little ways off of casting this Creativity. Casting Fable right here and not having it resolve is pretty unfortunate. Yeah, I'm just going to say go. And then I think what I'm doing is Prismari commanding, making a treasure, and drawing 2 and discarding. Yeah. Picklock Prankster's fine. They add back Consider. Young Pyromancer. Okay. Young Pyro's fine. That's a Prismari command target. Prismari command, deal 2, make a treasure. They get their elemental. We went first, but we missed a land drop, so I think they still have a land drop to play. Oh, but they don't. Okay. I think now we have to Fable, but I kind of want to Omen to hit the land drop. Can't Creativity. The Creativity is like targeting their token, but we don't want to do that. Let's say go. They sideboard into like Pyromancers, Crackling Drakes, because they know that their graveyard strategy isn't going to be nearly as consistent, because we're going to side in Graveyard Hate in our mat from our side. They have the Torch. That's okay though, because Fable still kind of fixes our hand. They did draw a land that turn, I think. Consider. I think they get to side in things like Negate and stuff. But they're just going to tap out for Prankster. So if this Fable can draw us the untapped land, we do get the Atraxa. What are we discarding? We're definitely discarding the Verdict. Or we're definitely discarding the Atraxa. And then I think we're discarding the Verdict. So let's discard those two. We did draw the Sacred Foundry. That's perfect. So Sacred Foundry, Creativity, our treasure. Bring in the Atraxa. Atraxa trigger. We're going to leave Atraxa behind so that we can do it in the future. We're going to get another Creativity, an Emperor, a Fable, and a land. So we're going to add 4 cards to our hand right now while we have 4 in hand. Yes. Do we want the plains or a blue source? We don't need a blue source. Let's get a land that comes in without dealing damage to us. So let's take these 4 and say go. They have Lightning Axe in hand, so it's a little easy for them to interact with this Atraxa. They hovering their yard again for another cruise. Sure. Treasure Cruise is such a nutty card too. I'm surprised they didn't ban Treasure Cruise. Phoenix, obviously one of the top decks in the like meta after. Found another Treasure Cruise. So we can't block this Arclight Phoenix because of the Lightning Axe in hand. But at this rate... Oh, they found a blue source. Okay, yeah, they have the Gust. Obviously, we're putting it on the bottom. Bring back another Helix. I am a little... Maybe I didn't play this game great. Not adding Supreme Verdict here seems pretty... like, mistake-worthy. So we get to Creativity again. We get to creativity again, and then we're discarding like our whole hand, but we have an Atraxa in play. And they already outed one Atraxa. The other option is Emperor, exile a Phoenix to try and stay alive. Let's play a land. Yes. So now do I want to do... I guess I will do this at sorcery speed. Alright, let's exile. Let's get rid of a Phoenix.
This is what you get for hurting my people.
And then next turn, we can creativity for Atraxa. Hope to hit like Rest in Peace. They're gonna axe that. Yep. Oh wait, we won't have a creativity target. They have yes, they have another cruise. We've gotten treasure cruise like 5 times in 1.5 games. Yep, bring back another Phoenix. Yeah, I think we lost this one. I wonder, even if I Supreme Verdict there, like, it's not great. I have an Emperor for the following turn, but like they have 2 Phoenixes hitting me and I'm at 12, so I go to 6. That doesn't feel great. It kind of got owned by Phoenix here. I think that game 1 is like definitely winnable. Like I think that the Teferi play is probably way better. I also am like, yeah, I think that game 1's winnable. This game doesn't feel winnable at all. We just got like cruised into oblivion, and they're like even ahead on mana on us. So we have the Get Lost, so we're not dead. Are we dead next turn? Let's see. No Phoenixes in the bin. All right, so yeah. Do we even Fable here? I think we kind of have to. Yeah, let's Fable. They're gonna let that resolve. I think they have a counterspell for this Get Lost, but we'll try it on their turn. They're gonna Brazen Borrower, bounce the token. So you go. We have to Get Lost. We can't Get Lost them there because they'll just end up bringing it back. They have like plenty of spells to cast. But yeah, once again, like a really just tough matchup here. All right, they go Ledger Shredder into an Opt. What do we have to draw? We have to draw like Land Farewell. Hope this Get Lost play works. Even then, I think we're still in trouble because of the Brazen Borrower. Alright, yeah, so Get Lost this Phoenix. If they have Negate, they have Negate. Yeah, tough matchup there. And we're back for the deck wrap-up. I'll have the untapped.gg profile win-loss rate on the screen. It's not doing super great. It's only 10 and 9, so not super great. I have been, like, tweaking and editing it, and I think it's getting better, but, like, yeah, there's some things, like, the aggro matchups are a little tough sometimes. There's a lot of ways just to interact with this deck overall, so it makes the combo a little bit less consistent compared to other things you can be doing in Pioneer for sure. But I have a ton of fun with the deck. And overall, I think the deck is really fun. And I think there are times where you can kind of figure out the deck, and like there's a lot to learn while playing this deck. And I think I still am learning while playing this deck, but you can do a ton of different things with it. And overall, I think it's good, but can be improved upon. Like I said, I do want to try Grixis version of this deck because that Valgavoth card looks insane. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I know that some of the games were a little weird. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.